Hi guys, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So today I'm going to teach you how to make chicken souvlaki. It's hot out there, it's summertime, and if you have a grill, this is perfect for making on the grill. Today I'm going to show you how to make it on my stovetop grill right here, which is also a perfect way to do it. You could also do it on a grill pan if you don't have one of these. That works just well. Let's go over the ingredients and then we're going to get started. So of course we're going to need some skewers. I'm going to be using some bamboo skewers today that you definitely want to soak in water at least 30 minutes before you use them because trust me, they will catch on fire and will fall apart on the grill, speaking from experience. So make sure you soak these. If you don't have these and you have metal ones, those are actually even better. Use those. Then I have some freshly squeezed lemon juice in here, some olive oil, whole garlic cloves, black pepper, dried oregano, salt, the lemon that I squeezed in there. Of course, you need some chicken breast. I'm doing just about a pound today. We're going to cut it up into cubes. And then with this, I'm going to be serving this all in a nice pita bread with some skewers of Haloumi cheese and vegetables that I have going on over here, which we'll make the skewers after, but let me show you the ingredients for them. So we have some Haloumi cheese, which we'll talk about right before we get started with the skewers. You can use grape or cherry tomatoes. I have some chopped up yellow bell pepper. You can use green pepper or red, whatever is freshest at the supermarket. And I have a chopped up onion, some white pita bread, and some fresh mint. That's all. Let's get started on making the chicken. So I'm just going to begin by crushing my garlic cloves. So for this 1 pound of chicken breast, I like about 3 large size cloves of garlic. I'm just going to chop them up really finely so then I can chop up my chicken on the same board second. Now, if you're not a huge fan of garlic, go ahead and put less, but trust me, it really maximizes the flavor. So give it a try and see how you like it. So I'm just going to push my garlic to the side and just chop up my chicken now into cubes. So you want to first cut it into strips. And then you want to cut it into about 1-inch pieces or so. This is perfect, depending on your skewer. Sometimes if you have those wider metal skewers, then cut them a little bit bigger so that way it doesn't fall apart once you skewer them on there. But since I'm putting them on these wooden skewers, they're pretty thin, this will do just right. If there's a lot of fat on it, cut it off, but if there's a little, it's okay, it'll just melt off on the grill. And then I'm going to wash my hands and add the rest of the ingredients into here. For this 1 pound of chicken, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice, about 1/4 cup of olive oil, maybe a little more, a little bit of salt to your liking. Like a flat teaspoon is good for me, but if you like a little less, go ahead, add a little less. I'm going to put some black pepper. You can also substitute crushed red pepper flakes if you wanted to. And then a generous teaspoon or so of of dried oregano. Now I'm just going to give this a nice mix. And that's it. This is the marinade. You want to make sure this sits at room temperature for about 30 minutes or so. If it sits any more than that, it's going to start, the lemon juice in here is going to start cooking the chicken, and you don't want that. So 30 minutes is good, and I leave it out. I don't put it in the refrigerator if I'm going to cook it right away, because the worst thing you could do is put cold chicken on a hot grill. So I like to leave it out. It'll absorb all the flavor and then it'll grill perfectly. Okay, so while the chicken is marinating, we're going to get started on our vegetable skewers. But before we do that, let me give you a little tip on marinating the chicken if you wanted to do it overnight. So if you wanted to marinate your chicken the night before you were going to grill it, just put all the ingredients together just the way we did, leaving out the lemon juice, and just put in the refrigerator, the oil and the seasonings, and it will be great. Just the next day when you take it out, about 30 to 40 minutes before you're ready to grill it, take it out of the fridge and pour the lemon juice on there, give it a nice mix, and leave it out at room temperature. You never want to grill meat that's very, very cold. You want it to be room temperature before you put it on the grill. That's how you get really nice tender meat. And that's how it's best just to put the lemon juice on a little before rather than leaving it in overnight. Give it a try. It'll cut your prep time to even less than what we just did right now. But anyway, so now we're gonna get started on the vegetable skewers. I love Haloumi cheese. It's a cheese from Cyprus. That's a sheep's milk cheese that's pretty hard and like stands up to grilling and high temperature, and it kind of holds its shape. It's really delicious. It's briny and salty and super good. Give it a try. I know you're gonna like it. If you can't find it, substitute any other like hard cheese. You can do cheddar if you really wanted to, but this really, there's no substitute for it. This is my favorite. I really love it. The one that I found in my supermarket, I couldn't find one that wasn't marinated. It's marinated in like some herbs and spices. I think there's some mint in here and maybe some oregano that they had it marinating in. That's fine. I'm just gonna cut it into cubes and then throw it in with the rest of my vegetables. So I'm gonna do the same thing like we did with our chicken. I'm just gonna throw it into this bowl right here. I'll put some tomatoes in here too. Now I'm just gonna put a little bit of olive oil over this and just season them a little bit with just some salt. Not too much because the cheese is very salty and briny. A little bit of oregano. And I'm just gonna give it a nice mix. And then we're just gonna skewer them on to our skewers. Put a piece of onion in, a tomato, a piece of Haloumi, a bell pepper, and then you do it again. That's it. I'm gonna keep making my skewers and then we should be ready to grill it all together. All right, so our vegetable skewers are done. I made one just tomatoes because that's gonna be for me. I love the tomatoes. And now we're just gonna skewer in our chicken. I think 6 per skewer is the perfect amount. And I'm gonna keep going until they're all on here. And the grill is getting ready. It's getting nice and hot. And these will be ready in no time. So I'm just gonna pour this on here for some maximum flavor, leaving just a little bit out. Now what you wanna make sure is that they're not all squished together so they have room to cook. Just kind of spread them out with your hands so they're nicely spread on the skewers. Just like so. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna begin grilling these. Okay, so I have the heat over medium and it's really nice and smoking hot. You wanna make sure you brush it really nicely with some oil so that way everything, doesn't stick. Now I'm gonna begin by putting my chicken skewers, and you wanna hear a nice sizzle. Perfection, that's exactly what you wanna hear. And then I'll put my vegetable and cheese skewers on the bottom over here. So now the key is to cook these at least 2-3 minutes on each side, turning them. It's going to take anywhere between 6 to 10 minutes until they're completely cooked. And you want to make sure they are completely cooked. And then we're going to serve them with some pita and tzatziki sauce. And it's going to be out of this world. So now you don't want to mess with these and keep turning them, otherwise they won't get those really beautiful char grill marks. So I'm going to leave them, then I'm going to flip them over and cook them another 3 minutes on the other side and then flip them one more time until they're completely cooked. Now, a lot of people like to make any kind of like souvlaki, be it chicken or lamb souvlaki, and kind of skewer the vegetables with the meat. I really don't like to do that. I like to do the vegetables separate. First of all, it looks really pretty. Second, I feel like it takes away from the flavor of the meat when you mix the vegetables in there. It almost sort of like waters it down, and I don't like the taste of that, if that makes any sense. You're gonna love the way this tastes, you're gonna love the way it looks, and everybody you serve this to is gonna sort of take them on a trip to Greece. Right? The only thing that's missing actually from this are some French fries. So if you have some time to fry up some French fries, that is like the perfect combination, that's a perfect way to serve souvlaki in Greece. They put a pita bread, they put some French fries in there, tzatziki sauce, the chicken and the vegetables, and they wrap it up, and it is to die for. We're gonna flip these over in a few minutes and then we'll show you what it looks like when they are done. Okay, so I've added the rest of my vegetable skewers in between like all the nooks and crannies left in the pan. So this is what you're looking for. You're looking for these beautiful grill char marks on the vegetables as well as on the chicken. These are almost ready. You'll know they're ready once the tomatoes especially start to sort of shrivel up. And if the cheese starts to fall off, that's totally fine. It's going to come off the skewer anyway. Unless you're serving it on the skewer, then I don't know. Okay, so most of these are ready, so I'm going to take them off of the grill and just pile them onto my plate over here. And now I'm going to put my pita bread on here. Pita bread does not take long, guys. If you overheat pita bread, it becomes rather dry. So you want to heat it just enough until it's nice and soft. This is what the chicken should look like when you're taking it off. And put it on my plate. Perfectly cooked, beautifully charred. And then as it rests, it'll continue to cook a tiny bit more. And the pita will get the flavor that's left over here on the grill pan. Now what I did at the end of the cooking, the last minute or two, I cranked up the heat to really high. So that way the flavor can get really nice and locked in there. Look at that. Tell me that does not look gorgeous. It's healthy. It is beautiful. It's pleasing to the eye and to the stomach. So I have my bread that's warmed up. Now again, like I said, you should not warm it up too much because pita bread, especially this pita bread that's like a pocket pita, it dries up really fast. So all you're putting it on the grill for is for it to warm up. And then you're going to leave it on the side. Try to wrap it if you're not going to use it right away, either in foil or in a nice clean kitchen towel. You want to make sure you have delicious tzatziki on hand, because without tzatziki, you're going to have like something missing in this dish. I'll post a link for the tzatziki recipe in the description box because we've already made this on the channel. Mint is a really nice addition. And now we're just going to put the sandwich together. Now you can totally serve it like this and have everybody make their own sandwich, or you can have a pita bread ready, put a skewer of chicken in here, a skewer of your veggies that have been roasted, grilled, and then you want to take tzatziki. And who are we kidding? I love tzatziki, so this can be 75% tzatziki for me and the rest chicken and vegetables. That's how much I love it. And then you want to leave it on the side. And again, if you had some French fries to put in this sandwich, they are so good. Let me cut some mint. I like the way mint is. You can totally leave it out, but it adds that extra pop of freshness. Actually, you could even sprinkle it on top like that. Isn't that beautiful? This is it, you guys. I'm going to post the recipe in the description box down below. The link always takes you directly to the recipe with the exact measurements on my website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. I can't resist. I'm going to have a bite of this chicken. I can't tell you how good it is. You have to make it so good that I'm talking with food in my mouth. But anyway, you have to make it. Make it for your friends, your family, make it at a party. It's hot out there in the summer, but you can make it in the winter as well if you're watching this in the winter. But anyway, make this, you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Post your comments down below. Let me know how you liked it. Bye, everyone.